Hi, right.
How
It's
are you?
been, I've been fine. Yourself? How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Just let me shut my phone off. Uh, I don't. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's good. It was the 9/11 anniversary, 20 years. Uh, so I was a little bit sad, but uh, that's about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my
Yes.
partner, my partner in New York, we were partners for 10 years, also during 9/11. He sends me a text on WhatsApp and he says, Raymond, I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was so good having you next to me, and we were able to get out of the New York City together. Okay. So I wasn't in New York City that day.
Yeah.
So I send him a text back and I say, Jan, I wasn't with you that day. I was at a meeting for my sons. I was a parent advocate. Uh, I was a parent advocate for my son's school, so we had a meeting that day. And then I was driving back and I got a call from a friend of mine telling me about the plane going into the World Trade Center. And I didn't think it was anything. I thought it was a small commuter plane. That's a small plane that hit the World Trade Center. And then I put on the radio and it was crazy. So I picked up my wife at the house and my son goes to school about 30 kilometers from my apartment in New York. So I said, let's go get Adam. No. So I started driving and I got to one bridge closed. I was very nervous because my son takes a lot of medicine. So I said, I have an idea. So I went over another bridge, right? And I got on something called the Hutchinson Parkway that goes to a place called Yonkers in New York. And you could see the burning, you could see the towers burning because it was right opposite New York City. So this is a true story. I pulled in for gas and I put the nozzle in the for gas, to pump some gas, and it overran because I was watching we were all watching the buildings, no?
Yeah.
And then I shut it off and we put water there and it was okay. And I got my son and I was able to get home. But I remember minute by minute, minute by minute that day until I got my son, my Adam. After I got my son, I looked at my wife and I said, if we all die, it's okay. We're together because I thought we were under attack. So
Yes.
but thank God, everything wasn't okay, but we were okay, and we went home, and it was very sad. It was very, very sad.
Yeah.
But that's life. You learn, you go through things, Sophie. COVID, 2008, the crash of the stock market. When my son got, I mean, life is up and down. Just ups and downs and in between. So, what did you do this weekend?
So actually, this weekend, it happened a very, I think, a very massive incident in my family. That is, my grandma, she had an operation in a hospital. She is fine now. And
Okay, thank God.
yeah, and probably taking care of her. So it was a bit exhausted sometimes because like when she needs help, when she needs help, I have to wake up whenever she wants. Just so it is quite tiring because like um I think maybe 3 days ago I was in a hospital and she needs she needs to drink water and an hour every 1 hour. So I have to um go off get off the hospital ward and just fall full and give her the water, a glass of water. So I have to do the same things every time, every hour, and even maybe when she feels really ill, I have to wake up immediately. So like one day I I only sleep maybe 4 hours and then I woke up to take care of my grandma. I I think it is great that she's better now and she recovers really soon. So
What
which
kind of
is a
operation
very
did she have?
is about bladder.
Gallbladder?
Yeah, bladder.
Oh. She had a gallbladder?
Yeah,
She had it removed.
yeah, exactly.
That's easy. That's not a difficult operation. I
It
didn't
is,
have it
but
done, but I know people who have had it done, you know.
yeah,
But that's very nice that you do that, Sophie, for your grandmother.
I think about part of the reason I want to be a nurse is because of my grandma. She was also a nurse too. And yeah, when I was really young, I also I also get a very serious illness. Yeah, I don't know what's the name in English, but what I know is that it was a very serious disease when I was young. I mean, that disease may cause me to be dead. But my grandma, my grandma came to hospital and take care of me. So yeah. so so
Sophie, when my son was 10 years old, I think I told you he was in the hospital in a coma
yeah.
and on life support system. And my wife and I stay with him every 24 hours a day in the Philippines. Um, and we took care of him, even though we had doctors and nurses and nursing around the clock. Um, it was still very hard. It's hard when you have a sick person. Um, but if you love that person, it's easy to do. Even today, my son wants me to sleep with him now because he thinks I'm going back to New York. And so I go to sleep every night at 9 o'clock. And if he gets up, I get up. If he wants a glass of milk at 12 o'clock at night, I give him a glass of milk at 12 o'clock at night. My wife is sleeping, so she's okay. I don't mind. He feels better with with me right now.
Yeah.
So I don't mind. It's my honor, my pleasure to do it.
Yeah.
Uh, so I admire you for taking care of your grandmother. It's a joy.
Thank you.
It's a joy.
Yeah.
And I mean that. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Also, it is really exhausting. It
I know. I know. I know. I
is.
know. I can sleep during the day, so it's okay. But
Yeah.
you can't. You still have to go to school and do your things, and you're young. Young people don't want to take care of old people anymore.
Really? Why? Why not?
I don't know, but I think that's great. And when is your grandmother coming out of the hospital?
Oh, she already came out of the hospital, so now I'm in my grandma's house, and I really love her house. Like there has so many artworks in
And books.
her house.
I know your grandmother likes to read.
Exactly. Yeah, she loves reading too. She is a very lovely woman sometimes, but but I really want to say that in positive way, my like my my dad thinks she is in positive way. My aunt and my dad think my grandma is very discreet, but in the other hand, she is a little bit like controlling manic. So yeah,
We
she
all
loves
are
to
with our
control everything.
with our kids or grandkids. That's what we do. We worry, so we want to be controlling. Listen, are you using your
Exactly.
phone as your Wi-Fi? Because it's a little uh the the clarity is not that great tonight.
Oh, sorry, I'm using my there's no Wi-Fi in my grandma's house. I use
Okay,
mine.
okay. Usually it's perfect your Wi-Fi. I now I know, I understand. So if you can understand me, right? No problem.
No,
Sophie, are you there?
yeah, I'm there.
Okay, I think there's a delay.
Yeah.
Okay, a delay. Delay. Uh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Okay.
hear.
Okay. Okay. So today we got two of our people vaccinated. Um, the two last people in my home got vaccinated. So now everybody in my home has been vaccinated. And they use the Chinese Sinopharm, I think it's called. Sinopharm from China. And everybody's okay. No problem.
That's a good.
One of the guys who got vaccinated is he's in his 60s and he's an island guy. Let me see. Island guy. Like he's never been off the island. So he lives very he was very scared. He was nervous. And his blood pressure was very He was very high because he was so nervous. He went
Yeah.
up to like 180 over 125. So it was
Wow.
very high. So they had to give him medication.
Yeah.
Medicate, and it went down. Let me just okay. And he's okay now.
Great.
He was so nervous that he drove himself crazy. He's a very healthy guy, you know, but
Yeah.
he was just he thought he was going to become a zombie.
Why?
Filipinos, you know, if they're not educated, you know, it was in the Facebook, you're going to become a zombie, and this is, you know, it was very funny. We literally
Yeah.
my wife had to take him by the hand and get him vaccinated. He's been with my wife for almost 20 years,
Wow.
working for my wife 20 years. So a long time. So she knows him, you know, and so he lives on a mountain. You know, I've been to his house. He built his own house on a mountain with electricity. It's really nice. Coconut trees all over the place. And so I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
You know, I got to walk up. I got to have two guys helping me to walk up a mountain because of my back. But he's really, I love him. You know, he's like family.
Yeah. It's been working for your wife.
Long
20
time.
years. I can't even imagine working for 20 years for a person. It
My
is
wife
really
started a project
amazing.
around
And
20 years ago. She built,
yes.
I built 6 custom homes, and then built our home. So this is a long time, and now he takes care of the hostel and my house. You know, it's a big house, so something
Yeah.
breaks all the time, and I can't do anything. I can't put a light bulb in, Sophie. You know, I can't do anything.
Really?
Nothing. I can't do anything. I'm telling you, I can't. I can't put a light bulb in. I don't know how to use a wrench, a hammer. It's not for me. But I got guys.
Yes, yeah, you did.
I got guys that do this. I can't do it. And when we
Yeah,
lived in New
obvious.
York, I always lived in an apartment, so we always had a super, you know, a maintenance guy. And
Yeah.
when we lived in Manila, I always had guys, you know, that knew how to do everything around the house. I mean, I can't do anything. And I don't want to learn. It's not for me.
Mm,
I'm lazy.
Too lazy to learn.
I'm lazy. I'm lazy. Yeah.
Obvious.
Lazy.
You're lazy. Oh my god. You really can do and even
If you
sweeping
want me
the
to change a
floor,
light
cleaning
bulb,
the kitchen.
if it's a long light bulb, you know, one of these light bulbs, you know, a
Yeah.
long. Can't do it. I can't do it. You know, we have these mosquito things. So
Yes.
whenever the light bulb breaks, I just bring the whole machine to the hardware store, and I give the guy $1, and he puts everything in for me. I can't do it. Even when we had our office in New York, if I needed anything, I give a guy $20. Come on up, fix this, do this. I can't do anything. You know, if the water breaks, I'm screwed because I don't know how to fix it. Cannot be done.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you handy? Can you do things?
Well, I think I can do everything except cooking. I really
Cooking?
hate cooking. Like, yeah, cooking. I really hate that. I can
Can't cook.
told you that once I almost spent the kitchen.
Does your mother cook?
No, I cooked myself, and I'm almost spent the kitchen in my flat.
Really? What did
Yes.
you cook in? A, a toaster oven or?
No, so I want to make sugar coated tomato. It's a
I don't even
very
know what that is.
traditional. You know about it? This is like a very traditional dessert in in my hometown. So I want to cook it because I
Sugar coated
I
tomatoes?
am not a fan. I'm not a fan of tomatoes, and but I really want to eat some flavor of that. So I just put the pan on the stove, and I was thinking like maybe I just heat it up for maybe a minute, or yeah, or something else like that. And but unfortunately the heat
That it?
was too high. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is one of my favorite desserts.
You should come
So
talk to my wife because my wife grows tomatoes.
really, if she doesn't mind, I may burn her kitchen. Then that's fine.
Impossible. You can't burn our kitchen. It's all concrete. Don't worry about it. There's no wood. It's all concrete.
Yeah,
And we also cook outside. We have a pizza oven
barbecue.
outside, and we cook fried chicken outside, and we have a rotisserie outside. It's very
Oh,
nice. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Sugar coated. I have to tell my wife, but she doesn't know how to use the computer to learn how to do it. I'll have to go on the computer and show because she likes tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes. The only way I like tomatoes is in pizza.
yeah, I agree with that. Especially margarita pizza
Margarita
with
pizza. The best pizza in the world is from New York, and I'll tell you why. Did I ever tell you why?
why? No.
New York water is
Yeah,
the best water in the United States. So we have the best pizza and bagels and rolls
yeah,
in the United States.
yeah,
I was even thinking if I could import water by the container
yeah.
and then open up a New York pizza place on the island. I said to my wife, well, I said, Gloria, can we import water and we'll open up a pizza shop? And she said, are you fucking nuts? I said, Gloria, we could do this. It's the best pizza in the world. You got Ray's Pizza, you got Patsy's Pizza. It's all New York water that makes it the best.
Yeah,
And because we import cheese from Italy here, So there's a company that goes around selling imported cheese, but without the water, it's not. It's. I had pizza today. It was just okay. Like I told you, we have friends who have an Italian restaurant, so I got a couple of pizzas today for my wife. I brought it to the to where she was getting the shots, the guys vaccinated, because she was there.
Yes.
She wouldn't leave until everybody was vaccinated. And my wife is the boss, so what she says, they'll do it. And so I brought her a pizza and some soda and cokes and stuff, and I had a couple slices, but they're not good. Not like New York. I miss New York.
Yeah. I went to New York after the COVID. I think
It's a
COVID.
connection.
Yeah, sorry.
No, no problem. I love seeing you. I look forward to seeing you guys. I hope a couple more people come today. But if they don't, I love talking to you, Sophie. It's always interesting. I enjoy it.
Thanks. I also enjoy the time with you actually. I mean, I only we only have the meeting once a week. So it's a very pleasure coming to talk with you.
It is. It's interesting. I learn about you. You learn about me and our cultures. It's very interesting. I never heard of
It is
sugar
really
coated tomatoes and
wow.
Moss burgers. I told my wife, if we ever go to Taiwan, I know where to go for burgers. Moss burgers. What is it?
Yeah, most like
So, and I was telling her about 7-Eleven. I learn a lot from these classes.
I also learned a lot from about New York because some because like one of my cousins she studied in New York, and also my aunt and uncle. I think maybe it was 2 years ago. My uncle he went to MIT and learned about the business. So there was in Boston. There was Boston 2 years ago, and then I
Austin,
just
Texas?
I, yeah,
Texas?
yeah,
Okay, Austin. Yeah, okay.
yeah, to Boston, and then my my uncle had
Did
a
you say
meeting in
Boston?
New York. Yeah,
Boston?
Boston.
Boston
Yeah,
is nice. Boston, Boston is beautiful. I don't like Boston
my
because I don't like the baseball team or the football team, but Boston is really nice.
it is. My aunt says that's her one of favorite place in United States because she was studying it in United States when she was maybe um yeah 20 years 20 years the same age as me. She went to New she went to United States and
Did
yeah
she
learning
did she
something
study
from
here? New York University?
no I don't even know which university she was studying, but actually I think she really enjoyed the time in the United States. Yeah.
I since I'm here, I realize how big the United States is. I mean, it's an amazing country. It just really is. The people are amazing.
Yeah.
They're so good and so bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, they say like New Yorkers are tough. But a New Yorker will help you. A real New Yorker, if you need their help, they will stop their car and help you and take you wherever you want to go. That's a New
Wow.
Yorker. You know, we had some guys from New York who stayed here at the hostel. And I was
Yeah.
talking to this guy, and he's telling me he's from New York and he's this and he's that, right? I said, okay. So I turned to one of the guys who works for me. I said, he's not really from New York. He moved to New York from a different state, but he's not from New York. And sure enough, he wasn't. He was from a different state. He wasn't from New York. You know, a New Yorker knows. You know, it's just it's something about us. You know, we can tell who's a real guy, and who's full of BS. You know, it's we can tell.
Classify that. How you classify the real New York? I mean,
I'm a real New Yorker. This is what New Yorkers are like me.
yeah.
We're nice guys or nice girls. You know, we're okay.
Yeah. I think that maybe most of the people in the world are very friendly, but I know sometimes I have I have some racial discrimination in the United States,
Right now you
and
do, yes. No, right now my wife also, my wife's family, yes. Yes, my friends, yes. Because that's the bad, you
yeah,
know. I have no problem with China with this COVID thing.
yes,
You know, nobody will ever know where it came from.
yes,
So it's here. Let's deal with it. You know, is it fair that my son is like he is?
yeah,
It's not fair, but it is what it is. So I deal with it, and I
yeah,
love him, and and I respect him, and I respect people like him.
exactly.
Uh, that's what that's human. That's just a human trace. You know, we had a bad president before Biden, you know,
Yeah,
and he really screwed a lot of things up. And um, but it's only a small percentage, Sophie.
yeah.
Most of people are good, you know. Most people are good. They're not bad.
I I very much. I don't know. Yeah, I only went to United States once, and I was really young at that moment. And frankly speaking, I'm not sure about that. I really want to maybe know, know, yeah, that is my grandma. I'm sorry.
Hi, Grandma.
And yeah, she's my grandma. Yeah, yeah, she's taking her medicine.
Good. Let her
Oh,
walk around. Let her walk around. It's good.
yeah, she's working. And yeah, maybe I should visit United States again. Yeah. I really like to I don't know, but maybe you traveling. Yeah, because I always can learn a lot from traveling. So also sometimes it may be really scary because you are alone. But yeah, maybe it is a time that I can learn how to be independent and also how to solve the problem. Yeah.
You should, if you travel right now, you should travel with friends in a group. You should travel in a group. Anywhere you go today, because of what's going on with COVID, it's better to be with friends.
Yeah, but I mean, like they have different interests. Like some of my friends, they are, yeah, they can speak English as well as me, but they speak Japanese fluent, and they also love the Japanese culture. So I mean, they're different. They're uh yeah, they have different interests. So sometimes it's really difficult that maybe we need to have a group and go to a specific place. So
I would love to go to
but
Japan for a few days. I mean, I always wanted to go to one of those wrestling matches, those sumo wrestlers.
yeah,
The sumo wrestler. I always watched that on TV when it was on before. I really like sumo wrestling.
wow. I actually don't know about sumo wrestling, but I went to Tokyo once with my family, and I really love Japan. But I think Japan is just I think Japan is better for travel rather work there because yeah, they are quite oppressive. So I definitely don't want to work there. But I really enjoy their tourist attractions. They're really beautiful. I mean, I've been visit a lot of temples and some yeah, some streets of Japan and also some restaurants. I mean, their street is really clean and also plant a lot of trees along the road, which is really yeah, wonderful. So I like I love Japan.
Yeah, I
I
like
def
Japan also. I like Korea as well. Um,
really
I do. I like Korea a lot. I haven't
but
been there in years.
I really hate the static electricity in this both of country, especially winter. The
Okay.
static electricity. It is so painful. Oh
Right.
my god.
Yeah, I have a story to tell you about Korea in the winter time. I was traveling there on business. Every month I would go to Korea. Uh, and so my friend in Korea had a time sharing in the mountains, in a beautiful complex in the woods, in the woods. So I stayed there, and I was with my nephew from the Philippines. Now, he knows I like it cold because I keep the air conditioner on very high in the Philippines. So we went to sleep that night, and he left the patio. Patio, did I spell right? Door open. And I spelled patio wrong. I'm an idiot. I'm the worst speller in the world, just so you know. Um, spell check. Anyway, patio. I don't know how to. Okay, there. Patio door. He left it open, and I was sleeping in a bedroom next to the patio, and there was a snowstorm that night. So about 3 o'clock, I start to shiver like crazy. I'm freezing, and I'm saying to myself, "Do I have a fever? Am I sick?" And then I saw he had the door open, and there was like 2 feet of snow next to me that came in through the patio. So I'm sleeping in a freezing room with snow on the ground. So I woke
Yeah.
this guy up. I said, Archie, I said, what are you doing? He says, Ray, I thought you like it cold. I said, it's freezing. You know, he's in another room with a heater on with blankets, and I was freezing. It was very cold.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But I do like Korea. The the land is so beautiful, and the I love the shops, and I love the restaurants. I enjoy Korea. Anyway,
I
the
think
topic. Oh, look at time. Jesus, the topic tonight was, I don't know if you read it, but it was about foods that make you remember what you should eat when you learn. I don't know how true it is, but I think it's true. I think there are foods that help you remember things, and do you want to watch the video or no need? Up to you.
I've watched it
You watch?
already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I made my notes like I always do, and fish is great for your memory. It has omega-3, and
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know about these things. I don't eat fish, and but where is it? I did something here. Here we go. And fish, salmon is very good for health, and it has omega-3, which is fatty acids, which helps you remember things. I don't eat fish, but everybody else does. And I love this broccoli, and
Wow.
I love
I
broccoli.
I heard a lot of people hate broccoli, especially Western. I
I
don't
love
even
it.
know why.
And you
I
know
mean,
how
I love broccoli, but I really hate carrots. I really
I
hate
love
carrots.
vegetables because of the Chinese. Because I started eating vegetables stir fried. Stir
Yeah.
fried vegetables, stir fried broccoli, stir fried green beans. So
Yeah.
I tell my cook, she works for, I mean, she cooks.
Yeah.
So I say, make me vegetables with chicken and rice and
Yeah.
soy sauce, right?
Yeah.
I love it. That's what I eat. Uh,
Really
uh,
Chinese.
I like Chinese. Well, when I used to work for a friend of mine who was Chinese, and he owned a Chinese restaurant. So in
Yeah.
Chinatown in New York City. So I would go there every day, and we would go out for dim sum for breakfast, around 10 o'clock. And then he would take me out for lunch every day. He ordered because he spoke the language, and he had chefs from this part of China and chefs from this part of China. So I really enjoyed myself. We were in business doing textiles, and he was trading shark fin soup. Shark fin. He was importing from Asia and selling it to the Chinese restaurants throughout New York.
Mm.
So it was. I think I even have a video. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
Chinatown. Okay. YouTube. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Okay, this is Chinatown. This is Netflix. Let's get rid of this. I don't know how to get rid of these things. Okay, this is Chinatown in New York. This is, see the Big Wong restaurant?
Yeah.
That was my friend's restaurant. And his
Wow.
family, yes, it did about 200,000 US dollars a day. I mean, it was no credit cards, all cash. And they owned this apartment, so we had an office here. And then they
Yeah.
had another restaurant and a photo shop. But we used to go all the time to all different restaurants in New York, in Chinatown. And there's a lot of jewelry stores. You can get gold and pearls and
Yeah, I can see. I mean, there's so many Chinese words.
this is over there. That was a an apartment house for the Chinese community put up.
Yeah.
It's a subway station. I used to come out every day. They go to N and Q, goes to Queens, New York. 20 minutes. You can be in Midtown.
That's
I
cool.
remember one time you could buy fake Louis Vuitton bags and Coach bags, really good quality, no? Really, really good quality. So my sister gave us the name of a place to buy it in Chinatown. So we go down there and the guy meets us and he says, okay, follow me. So we went through the store, no boutique. Then we went through a hall, down the stairs, through another hall. Then he opens up a door and he's got these beautiful bags of Coach, of Louis Vuitton, of Hugo Boss. And so we spent about $1,000 and we bought all these bags and I still have them today, all leather and they were great quality.
Yeah.
I remember I used to do the same thing in Korea. I used to go to the Itaewon market in Korea, and I used to buy all my leather goods. And I remember one time in Korea, this guy says to me, a Korean guy says, "Hey, buddy, we make suit. You need suit?" I said, "I own a factory in the Philippines." He says to me, "Don't worry, our quality is better." It's just it's a long time ago. So, are you there, Sophie? Or did I lose you? We lost each other. Hello? Sophie? I know. Sophie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can
I
hear
lost
you.
you.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. I understand. It's the internet tonight because you're at your grandmother's house. I know. I see it. It's next
I'm
week.
so sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah,
You know
maybe
what I
next
learned?
week it will be better.
You see these cherries here? The cherries?
Yeah, I see the cherry there, and it is so different from the cherry I I used eating. So
They're
different.
delicious. They're delicious. That's where melatonin comes from. That's a vitamin that helps you go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
So let's continue watching this a little bit. I love this video. See all the bags.
Yeah.
when I had my tie company in New York, men's ties.
Yeah.
We used to sell to these peddlers, street peddlers, and
Yes.
we used to sell them like 300 ties for $2 a piece, and then they would go on the street and sell them for $5, $8 a piece, and the peddlers were all military men, because in order to get a license to sell on the streets of New York, you have to be a veteran.
Yeah.
So all these guys were, in the war or came home. They have a lot of Chinese supermarkets in New York now. Really very interesting.
I
when you
really
want,
love the supermarket, like Costco or any local supermarket. I don't know. I just love it because it is much more close to people's life, and that is intriguing. Really.
and now in New York, we have Japanese supermarkets and a lot of
Yeah.
Chinese supermarkets. And
Wow.
what I saw one day, they take the fish out, a live fish, and they show it to the person who's buying it, and then they kill it. And then that's fresh fish. The,
Yeah. Yeah.
the fish was alive. Now it's not. Now I remember
Actually happen in local supermarket here. Just you can buy anything so fresh. Isn't like every time that I went to the local supermarket in Taiwan, and yeah, I also like if you want to buy some pork, you can you can see the pig's heart, the every piece, every organs of pig, and
it's
yeah,
amazing, right?
it's amazing, and it also gives yeah, it also gives me a lot of excitement when I see new things or
Me
how
too.
people cook it, or yeah, I just really like local supermarket here in
I was
Taiwan, but I haven't been to any local supermarket in other countries. So I
here
think
in the. I'm
I
sorry.
think I yeah, I think I'm weird sometimes because I told a lot of my friends, like if I go to France one day, I think the first place I want to go is supermarket,
Of course,
local supermarket.
of
And
course.
they think I'm really weird because they think that maybe the first place you need to go is Eiffel Tower, but I think no. I mean, there's so much people there, and I just hate that place because it is too overwhelming.
And so many
But
different foods.
yeah, and a
I
lot of cheese.
I'm
You
with
know,
you.
in Taiwan,
I'm with you.
yeah,
I
you know,
agree.
yeah. You know what? There's only hamburger cheese in Taiwan, and I haven't seen so many cheese, so various cheese
A
in
million.
France.
So
Like,
many. And cereal. So many cereals. There's like 30
yeah,
to 40 different cereals and milk. You have fresh milk, 2%, skim milk, milk, almond milk. So many juices. So many different juices. I mean,
yeah,
I love supermarkets.
yeah.
And now, if you go
Everything
to a
is so
supermarket, you can stay there
different.
for hours, and you could do everything. You can eat dinner there because a lot of supermarkets have restaurants in them. Also,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you. And they have hardware departments. I'm still a guy. I like to go to a hardware department, look at a nail or a gun or it's exciting. I'm not gonna buy it, but I like looking at it. I don't know why. I like hardware stores. I don't know what to do with the stuff in the hardware store, but I like to go to a hardware store. Like I think I'm
Oh,
gonna use
yeah,
something.
yeah.
You know, I'll say to my wife, don't we need that lock or don't we need that hose? And she says, no, we don't need it, Ray. But it's nice to have, right? That's true.
It is so interesting. Yeah, it is.
Sophie, I think I told you this, but one time in here in the Philippines, a guy was in the cart and he had the head of a cow.
Oh yeah, you told me before.
Yeah.
That's really.
I said, what
I
are you
think
gonna
it
do
is
with that?
amazing.
He says, we're gonna make soup. I said, don't call me. Whatever you do, I'm not coming. The head of a cow. I,
But you
amazing.
did it eventually.
No, I'm not eating the head. I'm not. If I know there's a head of a cow in that soup, I'm not eating it. It's a good thing I don't know the ingredients. I wouldn't eat anything.
Yeah, it's really fun that you were innocent that time.
Oh, my favorite supermarkets were in the Middle East when I used to go to Dubai in the 1990s. Because you could buy anything there, and it was so inexpensive. And they imported the best meats from the UK and from Australia and New Zealand. It was and not expensive. So, because I used to go there for a week at a time and rent an apartment, a partel,
Yeah,
and so we used to cook, or not me, people I was with, or I yeah, I like supermarkets. I very much, and you get to know the people. You get to see what the people like. No, so
yeah, yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Like,
I also like the
yeah,
coffee section because I love coffee. So I like to try different coffees from different parts of the world. Uganda has great
wow,
coffee.
yeah.
Hawaii
I think that
has
I'm not
great
a
coffee.
fan of coffee, but I
I am.
really love to go cafe. I really love to have a cup of tea because I think the caffeine content in coffee is too much for me. So I prefer drinking tea. And actually, I don't know why. I really enjoy drinking tea because it makes me feel relaxed. Yeah.
It's supposed to. They have different. You see, what tea to buy. That makes they have relaxing tea. When I
Yeah.
had when I was in when I had my when I was working with my friend from China, he used to
Yeah.
make a pot. He would grab the tea leaves and throw it in the pot,
Yeah, yeah, it
and
is
then
what
let it steam.
Chinese do.
One more story, and then we gotta go. My first time in
Okay.
China. My first time in China, I was drinking tea like crazy
Wow.
because we're in a
Because
meeting, and they go like this,
yeah,
and then you give them tea, and then they give this guy tea and this guy tea.
yeah,
I had to go
yeah.
to I had to go to the bathroom so bad, but you're in a meeting, you can't go to the bathroom. So finally, the
Yeah.
guy's going, he says, right, he's going like this. You want more tea? I said, no more. I got to go to the bathroom. I can't take it anymore. I don't know how they hold it in. They so much tea.
They just drink tea very slowly. Because
But I
because
kept drinking it. I liked it, so I kept drinking it. And then the black tea from India, the
oh, it's
milk and honey,
yeah, it's
very
so
good.
good.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Good.
Yeah, and then
And
I had
with milk.
with
Yeah.
milk. Yes, black tea with milk and honey. And then I had a friend from in the Middle East, very dangerous area. Uh, not Saudi Arabia, but very, I forget where, but they have very strong coffee. So I
Yeah.
had a cup of coffee. It was like this big, and so I drank a cup. I was going crazy. I was so hyper. I said, I'm not drinking this ever again. It's too much. But anyway, Sophie, it's 8 o'clock. I got to start closing up. My son will be here soon to pick me up.
Okay.
It was really nice talking to you. Have a great week. Think positive.
you.
I'm glad your grandmother, I'm glad I saw her. She's walking around. She'll be fine. I think you're great taking care of her. I'll see you Monday. You have a great week.
I want to get my freedom with my friends. Another friend gathering. Yeah. I miss my friend a little bit, but sometimes they are too crazy.
You're going to look back on taking care of your grandmother and you're going to be very proud of yourself and happy that you did. Trust me.
Thank you. Right.
You're welcome. Good night.